Namaskar, welcome to This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and I have in the frame Dr. Parikh himself. Doctor, welcome, and I must thank God for saving most of us from the impact of Ida, that hurricane, which also left its footprints in New York and New Jersey. What was your observation, and what did you hear from community members?
I think it was very horrifying and very disastrous 24 hours of Ida, because there was 8 inches plus rain in 24 hours is a lot of rain, and a lot of river overflowed, and people did not probably expected this kind of rain and flood. So there are 50 deaths. Not documented deaths is too many for this kind of rain to have 50 people die, and so many people are kind of homeless. So much destruction of the property, particularly in the certain area of the country, New Jersey and New York, and that is very, very shameful in a sense that government or government authority has to do something to warn the people or block the roads or stop the transportation. Something has to be done to should not repeat this kind of disaster, and hopefully government will help people who are suffered, and let's see how it goes.
I think looks like they failed to foresee exactly the extent of destruction which can be brought about by this rain in New York and New Jersey area in particular, because the warning signs, as you said, came quite at the last minute. There was no pre-warning, and the kind of scenes which we saw in New York's subway, flooded, lot of cars on the highways. I don't remember we have witnessed something like this in recent past. And allow me to take you to India. The way it was reported in India, and they sound sometimes not just critical but a little careless in describing, oh, this is superpower, but look what is happening on the streets of New York.
Well, that is a human tendency. If somebody is rich and successful, everybody will criticize him. When there is a slightest or smallest negative thing happens to that person, and that is common. And they always people, those who are less successful, always get too much of gratification and enjoyment by pulling down the very successful person or successful country. So that comment is not very worthy of any credit or comment, but they are right that being a superpower, certain thing has to be done, but this certain thing is local thing, and the local authority should have known this better, should have stopped the highways and road activities and transportation, then would have been a lot of lives saved,
Yeah. So staying with the way media reports, there were voices from India that the kind of reporting which American media did in the aftermath of the impact of COVID-19 by reporting with the fire of the last rites behind the reporters. So somewhere, I think, world over, we need to find a sense of balance in appreciating while someone else is in problem. I would say we probably need a little bit more empathy in the world. What do you think?
Yes, you are right, absolutely. And but unfortunately for media, the bad news is a good news for their publicity and rating. So they always little overplay the bad negative news, any media in the world. And I think they should not do that. They should be more mature and balanced.
Absolutely. Talking about balance, and the balance which President Biden is trying to attain in terms of his attention towards international affairs as well as domestic affairs. And now, as we speak on this Tuesday, President Biden is visiting New Jersey and New York to gauge the destructive impact of recent floods, etc. Do you think this has some of the political calculation also behind it, or it is purely administrative?
Whether he is a president or senator or congressman, all their activities or all their movement is always has some political tinge to it. So one cannot say that it's completely non-political. It is. It is being a president, that is his duty to go and visit things and then release the federal fund for this kind of disaster. But I'm sure he will get some positive political mileage, as he got negative mileage when this disaster happened, and he completely government completely or authority completely goofed it. And so it works both ways, and so that's not important. Important is that he should see in person and then try to help the people, those who suffered.
Coming back to the potential threat which India faces with increased radicalized activities or radical elements taking a little bit more active role in again destabilizing or championing the cause of seeking so-called liberation for Jammu and Kashmir. What do you think is the strategic way of addressing it on the part of Modi government?
Well, Modi government is doing the right thing, that they have to wait and watch right now. They should not be in hurry of disproving or approving Taliban government. First, their priority should be they should take out all the Hindus and all the Indians from the Afghanistan, those who wants to come out to India, and that's the first priority. And so it is always prudent thing to do, not to criticize any government in the beginning. Otherwise, you can hurt your own interest. And of course, Taliban takeover of Afghanistan is very bad news for India, both in Kashmir perspective as well as overall terrorism perspective, because it helps to Pakistan, and that is not good for India.
So, if I may seek your input on when you say that new government should not be criticized. Actually, this has always been referred to as a terror group. So that criticism goes along with the way they evolved.
No, what I say that, you can criticize, but government should not officially endorse or not endorse the government of Taliban government now. Wait and watch how the government forms, what other countries' reaction to that government, and then Indian government should decide, and I'm sure they will follow the same diplomatic path, slow and keep watching, and then deciding whether to endorse Taliban government or not to endorse Taliban government.
So there has been a recent survey which declared that Prime Minister Modi is considered the number one credible world leader at this juncture. But not getting into the details of that poll, let us consider the potential agenda with which Prime Minister Modi is visiting America in the last week of September, and this is happening in the aftermath of Afghanistan. So what can you sort of imagine is likely?
I think Prime Minister, what I understand from sources from Delhi, that Prime Minister is really coming to because he has arranged or confirmed the meeting with the President Biden to put together a strategy towards Afghanistan and Pakistan. and that's why he is coming here. And obviously, that time there's a United Nations meeting going on, so he may attend that meeting too. But most important part is he's coming to meet President Biden and work out some kind of common beneficial plan of action towards Afghanistan.
And now, in the few minutes that we have, I would like to once again remember that black day for America, in the sense that America was attacked and that blood has led to the last 2 decades of America's presence in Afghanistan also. 11th September is coming, and this 20th anniversary. Your thoughts on, do you feel America is safer than what it was, and overall American position vis-a-vis terror activities in the world?
I think after 9/11, American administration has put so many things in place. Security, CBI, FBI kind of networking, and networking with the other countries. I think America is much more safer than what America was before 2001. And I'm sure America knows how to protect themselves. And luckily, America it's kind of protected by sea on the both side of the continent. So I think America is much safer and better situation right now than it was in before 2001.
So thank you, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh Sahab. As we conclude, I would like your insight on the latest number of increased cases of COVID-19, and we hear that about 1,500 cases are there every day, which is quite significant. And there are different discussions. Some people don't want to wear masks, some people don't want to get vaccinated. So in general, as we conclude, your parting remarks along with...
I think this is now pandemic of vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people. So it's mainly pandemic or sickness or illness of the unvaccinated people of the country. And that shows that all the hospital admissions, 99% of the hospital admissions, 99% of the death happens on unvaccinated individuals. So please get vaccination. Still there is a time to end this pandemic by getting vaccination. And so please do so, and that will protect yourself, your family, as well as your friends. So please go and get the vaccination. Again and again, I'm saying the same thing, but that's a very important thing. And please do so. God bless America. God bless India. God bless Indian American community. And we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.
Namaste.
Namaste.